My name is James. I'm 35 years old, and this is one of the hardest stories I've ever had to tell. At this stage of life, you expect to understand love better. You believe experience will protect you from certain kinds of pain. But heartbreak doesn't check. Your ajit arrives when it wants, and leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew. I'm sharing this because silence has been heavier than truth. If you've ever trusted someone with your heart, only to realize you were never standing on the same ground, then maybe this story will resonate with you. This happened in South Africa, where love often whispers softly, but betrayal echoes loudly. I didn't lose her on her wedding day. I lost her long before that. Her name is Angela. She was 30 years old. Angela and I had been apart for about 9 months. I was the one who walked away. At the time, I thought I was making a mature decision, something a 35-year-old man should do when a relationship no longer feels aligned. I told myself I needed growth, clarity, something different, so I tried to move on. I started dating Belinda, a 23-year-old who brought a kind of lightness into my life. She was lively, full of curiosity, and made the world feel a little less heavy. Being with her felt refreshing, at first like starting a new chapter with clean pages. For a moment, I believed I had made the right choice, but truth has a way of surfacing. One evening, the image I had built began to crack. I discovered that Belinda had been cheating on me with a military officer. The realization hit harder than I expected. It wasn't just betrayal. It was the feeling that I had ignored my instincts in exchange for excitement. And in that moment, my thoughts drifted back to Angela. Angela was different. Her love had always been quiet, steady, and sincere. She never made me compete for attention. She never made me doubt where I stood. I remembered how safe her presence once felt, and how easily I had taken it for granted. "So I reached out," she replied. Her messages felt warm and familiar, like stepping into a room you once called home. We talked late into the night, voice notes, long calls, laughter that felt untouched by time. Despite the months apart, the connection felt natural. I convinced myself this was timing correcting itself, that maybe love doesn't disappear, it waits. I invited Angela over for a sleepover. She agreed. When she arrived at my place, somewhere between Johannesburg and memory, everything felt effortless. We cooked together, laughed about old stories, and spoke like to people who still knew each other deeply. That night, we were close. We shared space, touch, silence, moments that felt intimate and real. I let my guard down, believing that at 35, I could tell the difference between comfort and confusion. I held her like someone who planned to stay, but even then, something felt missing. Her smile didn't always reach her eyes. Her presence felt divided, as though part of her was already somewhere else. I noticed it, but I chose not to question it, because hope can be louder than truth. The next morning, Angela left quietly. No promises, no tension, just a soft goodbye. Then she disappeared. Her calls stopped connecting. Her messages went unanswered. Her number went off. At first, I made excuses. Life is busy. At 30, people are building futures. I told myself not to overthink, but days passed, and silence became the answer. With a heavy chest, I reached out to her close friends, fearing clarity. What I heard instead felt unreal. "She's busy preparing for her wedding," I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because my mind refused to accept it. Then I opened Facebook. There was Angela, smiling, radiant, dressed in white, wedding photos, engagement captions, celebrations filled with joy. The woman who had slept in my arms was preparing to promise forever to another man. I stared at the screen, frozen. I replayed every moment, searching for meaning. Was I closure, comfort, a final goodbye she didn't have the courage to say? And now, I live with a question that refuses to leave me. Why agree to the sleepover if you didn't love me? Why return to my life when your future was already decided? I wasn't asking for marriage. I wasn't asking for promises. I was asking for honesty. Today, somewhere in South Africa, Angela is building a life with someone else. And I am here 35 years old, learning that experience doesn't protect you from pain. It only teaches you how deeply it can sit inside you. Maybe she loved me once. Maybe she didn't. Maybe some people don't return to heal you, they return to heal themselves. I don't hate Angela, but I don't understand her, and maybe I never will. So if you're listening to this, holding on to someone from your past, be careful, because sometimes the people who come back aren't coming back to stay. They come back to remind you how deeply you can still be hurt. And tonight, that's a lesson I didn't ask to learn. Thanks for listening. If this story touched you in any way, please consider subscribing.